know if you know this, but I love doing yard work. And now with it being spring, I can always be found out in the yard doing something to improve it or maintain it. Here are a collection of some of my favorite yard tips. If you've ever had a problem with grass sticking to the bottom side of your mower, try this one. You can spray a good amount of dry lube on the underside of a clean deck to prevent wet grass from sticking to it. It takes less than a second to dry, but makes a huge difference. I made a few passes with my electric mower to show you how effective it is. Yeah. I'm not sure what Greenworks has planned for the holes in the arms of their mower, but I use them to zip tie up a plastic tub. This way, as I'm mowing, I have a basket to put items in, like sticks, trash, rocks, or even a roaming chicken. Say hi, Blossom. If your mower doesn't have holes, then you can tie it directly to the arms. Something else really handy is a small piece of PVC pipe with 2 holes drilled in it. If you quickly zip tie it to the arm, you can have a storage spot to carry a weed puller or shears. This way you can take care of those tasks as you're mowing and come upon them. Have you ever had to sharpen a mower blade? You can put a screw in the wall and hang the blade on it once you're done to test its balance. If it droops on one side, you need to remove more material from that side. Once it hangs perfectly horizontal, it's balanced and ready to go. When you're needing to dig down to a certain depth, such as when digging a trench or a hole, use a piece of tape to mark off the depth on your tool handle. This way you'll have a visual on how deep you still need to go. I recently started composting, and to quickly turn leaves into mulch, I use my 60-volt weed eater. Rake the leaves into a trash can, insert the head into the can, and go to town. In just a few minutes, the amount of leaves is drastically reduced in volume. And picking up a handful, you can see how it shreds even these hard live oak leaves into pieces. When it's time to store your tool, I bought a cheap pair of shelf brackets and used a scrap piece of wood for a shelf. The hooks in the bracket perfectly fit weed eaters. Then the shelves gives me a storage spot for the batteries and charger to go. And the great thing about electric is you don't have to worry about any fluids leaking when storing. If you have a tree or plant that needs water but isn't close to a watering source, a good hack is to grab a bucket and drill an 1/8-inch hole in the bottom. I would actually start with 2. Next, fill up the bucket with water and place it at the base of the plant. It'll now get a steady drink all throughout the day until the bucket is emptied. A truck bed is a wonderful tool, and I definitely put mine to use. Every so often, I give it a good cleaning by using my Greenworks blower to get all the leaves and dirt out of it. If it's really dirty, this blower has a turbo option. Blowing out a shop or garage this way also works wonders on a space. A good tip for utilizing a clean truck bed is to first lay down a tarp in the back. It doesn't even need to be fully unfolded, but then you can load up the back of your truck with brush, for example, then quickly pull the entire load out by simply grabbing onto the tarp. Even if you lose a few pieces, it is way faster than offloading bit by bit. Or a tip in a similar vein is to use a tarp to drag things around. I've done this with brush, dirt, and even rocks. You just load up the tarp and take off. Another tool I've used for moving heavy things in the yard is a dolly. It might seem odd, but a dolly has saved my back many times when wanting to move heavy rocks or even tree trunks. I have also been known to use a ratchet strap to attach a trash can to the dolly. This way I have a container I can not only fill up to the brim, but also easily move around as I work. In this case, I was picking up large branches to take over to my fire pit. When starting a fire at said fire pit, a tip I love is to use a blower to get it going. This Greenworks blower has a cruise control on it so that you can set the throttle and leave it. I set mine to a low amount, then direct it at the base and watch as the fire quickly becomes a roaring one. If you don't have this blower, then you can also hold down the trigger until the fire is going. It is surprising how much air quickens the process. Real quick, I want to thank this video sponsor, which is Cujo. Cujo makes yard shoes that really are a wonderful hybrid, taking some of the best features of a boot and merging them with some of the best features of comfy shoes. They are much lighter and more comfortable than the average work boot. The Cujo yard shoes are water resistant and keep my feet dry in wet grass or when watering my garden. But they are also very breathable on hot days, which we certainly have a lot of here in Texas. The sole is made of thick, durable rubber, so they're long-lasting even whenever working as hard as I do. They have an aggressive grip on the bottom, providing great traction on my hills and on any surfaces. I absolutely love yard work and landscaping, so I'm thrilled to have a shoe that is specifically designed for this activity. Cujo is the only brand of footwear 100% focused on this space. If you'd like to try some for yourself, click the link in the description below for 10% off and free shipping. Big thank you to Cujo for supporting what I do. And if you have any questions about what I've used in this video, then I have left you links to all of my personal favorite equipment down in the description below. I hope that you found a tip or two that you enjoyed, and I would love to hear if I left something off that's one of your favorites. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you would like another project to tackle, don't forget that I have templates for this folding Adirondack chair. Of course, it's an Adirondack chair, but then you can tuck it away into this nice sleek profile for either storing it during winter or just simply after a party. You can click right here to get your templates.